As you saw in the intro, another bank opens the crypto gate. Now, I've been showing you this multiple times over the past couple of weeks of another bank coming on board, another bank coming on board. There's even now more talks of a massive bank. Bank of America is about to be coming on board with crypto as well, but a $185 billion key bank now lets 3.5 million clients buy and hold Bitcoin and crypto. Traditional finance is onboarding fast. And as you heard at his last statement, what is the main problem with banking, international banking, money transfer, sending money overseas? Well, XRP solves that problem, XRP Army. So exciting news to hear. Banks are realizing crypto is the solution. Now, he does mention that it's going to be stable coins doing that. We have RLUSD, which does use XRP for burning in the fees. But just psychologically, the most important thing to understand, remember, there's a bunch of normies. Only 7% of the world's population has adopted crypto. Most people don't even know that this is happening, but banks are starting to get on board, which will then translate to more people having trust in the crypto financial markets. And if you remember, just a couple of days ago, we did announce that PNC Bank is partnering with Coinbase to bring customers to crypto. So it is happening, ladies and gentlemen. Goldman Sachs and Bank of New York Mellon, BNY Mellon, launched tokenized money market funds on blockchain, targeting $7.1 trillion industry with backing from BlackRock and Fidelity. Now, the only scary part here is obviously BlackRock is taking over everything. BlackRock's going to own every company in the stock market. It's going to own more of every crypto in the world. So BlackRock is going to run the entire world. That's the only thing to be scared of. And then on top of that, you got AI, BlackRock partnering never mind. I don't even want to go down that rabbit hole. But on some positive news, vertical tech farming firm Nature's Miracle launches a $20 million XRP treasury program, becoming one of the first public companies to adopt XRP as a core reserve strategy. So as you know, MicroStrategy is using Bitcoin. There's several gaming companies using Ethereum. Well, here we go. Now we have an American company using XRP as their treasury company. And also big news coming up next week. As you saw, the financial news is going to be on fire next week. Well, also Trump just announced that it will release its first ever crypto policy report on July 30th, a flagship move under his executive order 14178. And if you've been following X.com at all, Chris Larsen has been all over for the XRP army to see that he has been dumping tons and tons of his XRP. Since July 17th, a wallet linked to Chris Larsen moved 50 million XRP or $175 million to exchanges. That was right as XRP hit a cost of $3.60. Now, blockchain sleuth Zach XBT flagged this, and the crypto community is buzzing with accusations of dumping, selling big to cash out at peak prices. XRP's price dipped to $3.09 after those transfers. Larsen's wallets still hold over 2.8 billion XRP worth $8.4 billion. And why this matters is when a co-founder moves this much crypto, it spooks retail investors fearing a sell-off. But some argue that Larsen's just decentralizing his holdings and preparing for strategic moves, like funding Ripple's expansion. The timing, though, raises eyebrows, especially with XRP ETF hype growing. If you're an XRP holder, keep an eye on exchange inflows and price action to gauge whether this is a blip or a bigger trend. Big moves definitely can shake confidence, but they also create buying opportunities if the dip's temporary. So what do you think Larsen's up to? Let me know in the comment section below. And I thought this was really funny because of everything that's going on right now. Not Jerome Powell on X posted this picture here. If you guys didn't see this today, Donald Trump and Jerome Powell, they actually went on a tour of the Federal Reserve. And Jerome Powell said that the project wasn't that bad, or it was only $2.5 billion. And Trump said, no, it's $3.1 billion. Trump whips out this piece of paper out of his pocket. And then to show him what the cost of the actual project has been. But the meme here shows that what he was telling Jerome Powell is lower interest rates. And this is becoming a major topic. Jerome Powell has been actually referred to the DOJ for criminal investigation. Tim Burchett says that if the Federal Reserve is a private organization, why are taxpayers on the hook for this $3 billion renovation? So if you're not familiar, Federal Reserve building is getting renovated and it's going to cost $3 billion, which is $1 billion over budget. Also bullish, Justin Sun and Tron rang the bell NASDAQ this morning. So again, crypto merging with traditional finance, crypto is coming to Wall Street. On top of the Chris Larsen transfer, we also have a anonymous whale transferring 200 million XRP tokens, or $700 million transferred from an unknown wallet to another unknown wallet. Also, breaking news for XRP, Brazil's top fund management firm Vert launches a blockchain platform on XRPL to manage private credit operations. The first live transaction is a CRA issuance valued at $130 million. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think going from $2.25 all the way up to $3.60 plus is a rally. We're having a small pullback. It is okay. XRP has been on fire, surging 30% in this past week, getting it up to $3.09. It's currently sitting at $3.09, just shy of its 2018 all-time high of $3.40. Ethereum, no slouch either. It's climbed 20% to $3,339. But here's the kicker. XRP's outpacing Ethereum in whale activity. Data shows that large investors have scooped up 2.2 billion XRP in the last 2 weeks, while Ethereum whale moves are strong but not quite as aggressive. And as I showed you from the ETF moves, Ethereum's ETFs have been massive. So this is great because we don't even have truly lots of different XRP spot ETFs approved yet, which we're going to get some massive volume from that. And the why this matters is whales often signal where the market's headed. XRP's rally is tied to optimism around the potential XRP ETF and regulatory clarity after Ripple's SEC lawsuit, which hasn't even freaking cleared yet. Ethereum, on the other hand, is riding the wave of its established ETF success and DeFi dominance. If XRP keeps this momentum up, it could flip Ethereum in market cap. But Ethereum's fundamentals are rock solid, and investors need to watch whale wallets and ETF news to pick up which horse to back. But speaking of those ETFs, Ethereum does have a little secret, and that is BlackRock. BlackRock's ETF is becoming the third fastest ETF to hit $10 billion in assets under management since launching July of 2024. And obviously that's freaking huge. It's pulling in $602 million in a single week. And the reason this matters is this shows mainstream investors are pouring money into crypto, especially Ethereum. BlackRock's involvement gives Ethereum a stamp of legitimacy, driving more institutional cash and stabilizing prices. It also fuels speculation about altcoin ETFs like XRP, Solana, as Wall Street giants get hungrier for crypto exposure. And if you're holding Ethereum, this is a bullish signal, but it also means more eyes on the market, which could amplify volatility. If Ethereum ETFs are hot, imagine what's next. Could BlackRock dive into XRP? Well, if they do dive into XRP, you know what's going to happen. It's going to be to the moon for XRP. So let's take a look at XRP in the charts. As you guys know, some of you guys may not know, we have a chart here, and it is the spider line chart. We will be doing some traditional support and resistance charting here in just a couple minutes as well. But the spider lines have been so ridiculously accurate. As we can see right here, our March 19th, 2018 spider lines from the weekly spider line with the pivot point of the April 21st spike. Use the ray tool and draw a line from there to that fulcrum point, and it shoots off a line into the future. Now, what's really crazy is when we recently had that all-time high of $3.40 back on January 13th, the week of January 13th, just before this massive pullback,